Hello everyone and welcome back to the 7 Wonders of Genshin series. Today, we'll be looking into the depths of the chasm and the secrets hidden within. This video will only be covering the chasm and its underground mines, so if you want to know about the rest of Liyue, I already have a video about that. Also, if you like this video, consider subscribing. It helps me out a lot and I'd really appreciate it. With that said, let's jump right in. To start off, I'd like to take a look at the northern part of the chasm. This area is known as Fuao Vale, and it was the site of a legendary battle a long time ago. Here, the Geo-Archon Morax and some of the Adepti fought against the mighty dragon Azhdaha, whose mind had become eroded, causing him to rampage inside the chasm. Now, Azhdaha was once a friend of Morax. Long before their battle, Azhdaha was a blind bishop who slept deep underground. However, he woke up one day, and every one of his movements caused earthquakes on the surface. Morax immediately went out to search for the source of the quakes, and eventually found Azhdaha. When Morax found him, Azhdaha said that he wished to see the life on the surface. So, Morax answered his wish, took him above ground, and gave him eyes to see the world. The two also had a contract together, with Morax saying that if Azhdaha ever endangered the Order of Liyue, he would not hesitate to seal him underground once more. For a while, Azhdaha abided by this contract, but erosion would set in over time. Eventually, he would forget the conditions of his contract, and would go into the chasm to attack the humans who were mining there. And so, Morax came to the chasm, and the legendary battle took place. Morax would be victorious in the battle, and Azhdaha would be taken to be sealed at Nantianmen. The battle would also result in the formation of Dragonfall, a rare ore that has now been mined into obscurity. In the present, there is a hole in the chasm's north wall, possibly as a result of Azhdaha being dragged to Nantianmen. Many of Morax's stone pillars can also be found around Fuao Vale, serving as a reminder of what happened here all those years ago. In the center of the chasm lies the entrance to the underground mines. This massive hole is known as the chasm's maw. Recently, it had been sealed off by the Liyue Chising using the 7-star array. However, during the World Quest surreptitious 7-star seal sundering, the traveler unsealed the entrance and headed into the mines. As for why it was sealed, it was the result of many mysterious accidents within the underground mines. These accidents were due to the mysterious dark mud that had begun accumulating in the area. The divine nail and the growth of lumenstone in a few areas may have also had a part to play. Now, as for the origins of the chasm itself, we have to go back 6,000 years. During this time, a certain falling star landed here, which was described as having a proud and agitated temper. This falling star is what formed the crater known as the chasm, and may be responsible for the strange shapes of the cliffs. Anyways, this falling star didn't stay forever. During the Archon War, it leapt back up into the heavens due to the constant warring and strife. Now, it is also said that during the Moon Sisters disaster, the solar chariot fell into the chasm, but was eventually repaired and returned to the sky. It is unknown if the falling star and the solar chariot were one and the same. Either way, the unique circumstances that created the chasm led to many special geological conditions. The soil and vegetation have a unique color, there are some fluorescent plants, and glazed sand crystals are found all over. The area of the chasm is truly unique, and it is quite beautiful as well. Now, let's move on through the chasm's maw and head below the surface into the underground mines. After a little bit, you will come across the main mining area. These mines are run by the Liyue Chising, and they stretch all across the northern part of the underground section of the chasm. The mines have many wooden structures built throughout, as well as cranes, elevators, and other machines to help the mining process. These structures show just how long the mines have been in operation, as it would have taken a long time just to get all this set up, let alone doing the mining itself. Now, despite being an area that typically has a decent human presence, the main mining area is still a dangerous place. Slimes, geoviships, abyss mages, rift hounds, and even the Fatui and the treasure hoarders can be found lurking in the area. That's not even mentioning how dark it can be down here. Luckily, you can obtain the Lumenstone Adjuvant gadget in order to light up your surroundings and solve some puzzles. The gadget also assists in getting rid of the dark mud found in the area. As I said earlier, the dark mud has started appearing in the chasm recently, and it was why the area was shut down in the first place. The dark mud is a form of abyssal corruption, and was likely caused by influence from the Abyss Order. I'll get more into the dark mud later on in the video though. For now, I'd like to keep moving forward through the chasm, into the areas where most people generally should not be going. The next stop in our journey through the chasm is the mysterious inverted city. This mysterious set of ruins hangs upside down from the ceiling of the chasm, and is linked to some ancient civilization. The architecture resembles that of Unkonomiya and Khaenri'ah, and Dainsleif also tells us that he believes the civilization actually predates Khaenri'ah. Speaking of Dainsleif though, we travel here with him during the Archon quest Requiem of the Echoing Depths. During this quest, we find out that the Abyss Order has taken over the city, and plans to use the mysterious upside-down pool at the center of the structure in a ritual in order to break the curse of Khaenri'ah. However, the ritual leaves Dainsleif, the Hilichurls, and the Black Serpent Knights in agony, leading Halfdan to try and stop the Abyss Lector who is performing the ritual. With the help of Dainsleif and the Traveler, the Abyss Lector is defeated and the ritual is completely stopped, but Halfdan unfortunately didn't make it. However, his soul appears before Dainsleif, and the two are able to say their goodbyes. Anyways, we get more information about the city from the viewpoint in the area, which is narrated by Xishuang. She believes that this civilization was punished a long time ago, and that the purple-black crystals and dark mud may have something to do with it. She also says that the city seems to resist the presence of any outsiders, which makes sense, as the area was blocked off by a barrier before Requiem of the Echoing Depths. Anyways, the inverted city is quite a mysterious place, and I'm hoping we get more lore about it and the civilization that once resided here in the future. Moving further down into the chasm, we come across the Glowing Narrows. It is located in the deepest levels of the chasm, and is home to many glowing plants, hence the name. This place is also home to some fungi, being one of the few places throughout the underground mines where they live. Additionally, there is also a giant glowing mushroom that resides here, which goes by the name Zamaran. Zamaran possesses glowing white bark similar to Irminsul, though there has been no other link between the two beyond that. It is unknown how exactly it got to the chasm, but it is said that it has a certain affinity to the place. Now, Zamaran is not native to the chasm, as it is said that it took its name from a friend in Sumeru, where it originally came from. It also really likes Lumenspar, as during the Dimming Mushrooms Call for Help world quest, we use some of the power from our Lumenstone Adjuvant to energize it. Anyways, as for how Zamaran can talk, it simply releases spores into the air, which has caused some people, including Xishuang, to think that they were hallucinating instead. The Glowing Narrows itself is a very interesting and beautiful place, and while it may be quite deep in the chasm, there are still places that are further down. Deep within the darkest depths of the chasm, you can find a mysterious object floating in the air. This is the Spiritstone, which bears quite a resemblance to the Skyfrost Snail in Dragonspine. Of course, this is because this is also a divine nail, likely sent down here thousands of years ago. Like the Skyfrost Snail, the Spiritstone also had fragments, one of which was the Wish Stone. The Wish Stone was discovered in the Stony Halls, and it was also part of the reason as to why the Liyue Chising shut down the mines. However, the Traveler once again helps out by sending the Wish Stone back down towards the Spiritstone. Anyways, when we reach the Spiritstone, we find it corrupted by abyssal energy. This was likely the result of the Abyss Order, and the corruption also caused the appearance of the dark mud. Once again, the Traveler is able to purify the divine nail, but then a ruined serpent called Haftvad the Worm appears. The Traveler fights against the ruined serpent, but it was ultimately defeated when Yelan shot the Spiritstone from afar, causing it to fall down on the ruined serpent and destroy it. After that, the Spiritstone floated back up into the air where it had been, leaving the ground below it to be shattered. After this, the effects of the abyssal corruption slowly started to disappear. This included the mysterious dark mud that had been causing so much trouble. Because of this, the mines of the chasm have slowly been reopened, allowing the mining operations of Liyue to more or less go back to normal. Now, there is one more place I'd like to talk about in the chasm, that being the domain known as the Chasm's Bed. The seal on the space was loosened up when the Spiritstone fell into the ruined serpent, shattering the ground beneath it. During the Perilous Trail Archon quest, the Traveler, Paimon, Yelan, Yanfei, Ito, and Shinobu all fell down into this area. The Chasm's Bed is a mysterious and chaotic space, full of distorted space-time. It is incredibly old, with Yanfei saying that the rocks in the space are extremely old Liyue mountain rocks. There are also many strange and unusual effects here, which Yelan believes may be the work of some higher power. These effects include, but are likely not limited to, the distortion of space and time, selective fatigue and tiredness, and the ability to read minds and create illusions. It is also said that if someone stays here for too long, they will become devoured, and after that, they will become lost souls wandering the depths. During the Cataclysm 500 years ago, the Millelith would head to the chasm to fight back against the invading abyssal forces. This fight would also attract the nameless Yaksha, who turned out to be Bozacious. He had lost his sanity, but still fought to protect Liyue. The Millelith, alongside Bozacious, fought against the abyssal forces into the depths of the chasm, eventually reaching the chasm's bed. The strange effects of the space would swallow the Millelith, who would realize that there was no way out. Eventually, only Bozacious and Yelan's ancestor Boyang would be left, but they too would eventually become lost souls in the chasm's bed. While the abyssal forces were defeated, no side really won the battle. Anyways, back during the Perilous Trail Archon quest, the group would eventually find Zhao, who had gone into the chasm's bed in search of the nameless Yaksha. All of them would make a plan to escape the space, which would be successful, and everyone would be okay. The chasm's bed is a very mysterious and chaotic place, and I really hope we can learn more about it someday. And those are 7 of the chasm's wonders. Of course, there are more wonders in this area than the 7 that I talked about, so there is always room for a part 2. I also have a video on the 7 wonders of Liyue already out, as well as other videos on abyssal power and future Liyue expansions. I'd love to hear what wonders throughout other areas and nations you'd like to hear me go over in the series in the comments below as well. Anyways, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Sources and further readings are also in the description if you want to check them out. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll see you all in the next video.